How is it going?
Oh, it's
Dr.
going great.
How's it going, Dr. Jeannie? How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling fantastic. I just wanted to jump right in on that.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy you did that. That shows the type of energy that we have for our new episode. So we have our new episode, which we're sharing today, how we heal, directing your cosmic energies. Super excited. Just to, as a quick reminder, my name is Dr. Jonathan Locust. I am the CEO of Rise, and we have one of our phenomenal practitioners, Dr. Jeanne, who is our evolutionary astrology expert. And just a little bit about her, she has spent a career in business and corporate America over 35 years and ended up making a shift and wanting to follow what was in her heart, which is astrology. And we have our second episode. So again, Dr. Jeanne, how are you doing? And how's your day coming along? And then we're going to also let you share your screen too.
Oh, wonderful. Well, hello, Dr. Jonathan. I'm super excited. I'm doing great. We were commenting a little bit ago about how fast time goes by.
Yes.
It's just like it's whizzing and whizzing, but happy to be here with you today and everybody else as we talk about the Libra solar season.
Mm.
And we've got a bit of a lineup, but I'm going to share my screen first. And I figured out, Dr. Jonathan, how to turn the pointer on. So let's see, play from start. There we go. And
Perfect.
I've got a red highlighter. embracing technology. Libra season starts on September 22nd. It goes all the way through October 21st. So this is the season of Libra. For those folks that are born between September 22nd and October 21st, your sun will be in the sign of Libra. You have very prominent Libra energies. And I always like to point out, Dr. Jonathan, that every soul is called into existence to fill a definite cosmic need, each and every one of us. My passion is evolutionary astrology. My passion is living our life purpose. And I know that our stars reveal to us what our life purpose is. And with that, I always like to start with the birth chart of the Dalai Lama, his cosmic blueprint. When we are born, each and every one of us, picture you're in the center, which is where the Dalai is supposed to be. I'm supposed to fix that. In the center, looking up at the skies. This is your blueprint. It is one of a kind. It will never be repeated. Even if you are born seconds apart from a twin sibling, there can be a shift in the skies. And it can be a monumental shift sometimes if what is called the ascendant, that AC, the sign that was on the eastern horizon when the individual is born, if that shifts between two twins, everything shifts. And what that means, yes, it's pretty powerful. What that means is this. And so we went through this chart quite a bit last month. For those folks that are interested in a primer, if you look back to our August 2024, you'll see that a little bit more. However, with the pointer here, I'd like to say a couple of things. These glyphs, these little symbols on the other side in astrology is a language of symbolism, and it is a language, and I'm so blessed that I've been able to absorb this and love it as I do. These glyphs, this particular one here is the sign of Cancer. And where is our Libra? Right down here. All right. And so the Dalai Lama had Mars, which is the energy, and it is the warrior. We'll talk a little bit about that out there a little bit more later in our presentation. His Mars was in the sign of Libra. He was fighting for the people. And that's that signature right there, fighting for the people. And he certainly is still. So the glyphs tell us the signs of the zodiac. The ascendant establishes what sign is in the first house. So here we see this number 1, and it goes around the circle all the way to 12. Houses never move. So the dial does turn based on one's ascendant, but the houses don't move. He happens to have Cancer, which is a healing, nurturing sign. His sun is all about that. And it sits in the first house of this is who I am in the world. And wouldn't you all like to know that about yourselves? I know I'm just thrilled with knowing my stars, because I understand.
And Dr. Jeanne, I want to just point out, because it's clear that you are an expert as you're going through and sharing what all the glyphs mean. But for people who are interested in learning their stars, they may feel that there is a large, maybe educational barrier to understanding. But even during the process that you took me through, you walk people through the process, let them know what it means and what the glyphs mean. So there is a process with you walking with them, and it's not just, here's your birth chart, here you go, and that's just it. So I wanted to just kind of just point that out, because even as a learner, I'm learning during this process as well that all these glyphs and everything that is on here, Dr. Jeanne does go through, shares everything, walks with you in the process to let you know what your birth chart means, and it's a full learning exercise and experience.
Thank you for that, Dr. Jonathan. I believe in my clients leaving a reading empowered.
Yes.
Empowered. And not just with personality traits that says, oh, your sun is in Cancer, so this is who you are. But your sun is in Cancer, and so this is why you're here. All right. And thank you for that. Coming around, we see in the darker blue, in the lighter blue, right here, where were the different planets in terms of sign and house placement when the Dalai Lama was born? So you heard me talk about Mars down here in the sign of Libra and his sun. Each and every one of us, of course, has positions of the planets in our houses, and they are vastly different, vastly different. To me, it's a work of art. Every birth chart is a work of art. And so it is your cosmic blueprint. You are one of a kind. Your stars, and I like the little term, your stars, because it's fun and hopefully it's catchy and it'll ignite others into action. Your stars answer why you are here. I don't know how many people get to some point in life, and usually, sadly, it's a moment of despair when the question comes, why am I even here, and do I even matter? And absolutely you matter. In fact, here, Dane Rudhyar, he is well known as the father of what is called humanistic astrology. This is evolutionary astrology. When you don't follow your nature, there is a hole in the universe.
I love that. I love that so much, because I mean, and there's just been, I'll just share real quick the reason I do. There's just been so many times to where in my higher education career, or just talking to different people, where they felt as though they didn't either have a path, or they didn't necessarily, their life didn't mean anything. And that quote says the exact opposite, that you have a place, you have a space. And if there's not there's a void.
A void where you were supposed to be. And that's powerful. It hits me emotionally, which drives my passion, I'm sure, to help others. If you are not where you were supposed to be, you're not meeting up on the agreements that you made cosmically to other people. They're counting on you. And so we all, we can say that we care about other people, but we really care about other people when we endeavor to seek our soul purpose and live it. Wow, that's pretty deep, right, Dr. Jonathan?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
So, and knowing your stars, gosh, it can take a lot of the pressure off, right? Other people are not telling you who you were supposed to be or what you did wrong. You're not beating the hell out of yourself anymore. You know why you're here. you know the life you're meant to live. It doesn't make it easy, but you will know. I can reveal your karmic predicament. The one thing that transcends death and rebirth is emotions. Emotions and feelings, right? And we carry into our lifetime, and we hear some people talk about, my wound, my inner child. There's many cliches for it, but we do carry into this lifetime a energy of past lives. And we carry them with us into this lifetime because this is the lifetime in which we have the planetary support to transcend them and to evolve our soul. Otherwise, they would not come. So whatever difficulties, and some people I know are really struggling, some not so much on the surface, but internally it's really bad. So we all have the crap that we're shoveling through, right? And knowing your stars helps you understand what it is, why you have it. And in evolutionary astrology, which is humanistic astrology, we are able to talk about how to transcend them for the evolution of your soul. Whatever lessons we don't resolve in this lifetime, they come back. They come back. All right. So I guess that's my message there, Dr. Jonathan.
They do. Well, I was gonna say I know we stick in the time, but I was gonna say I could come in and talk about how they come back. But you are 100% right.
They come back. So it's your practical guide to your life and the evolution of your soul, your cosmic blueprint. And there we have the Dalai Lama, beautiful man. However, let's bring it back to current and have a little bit of fun with this. And let's see about how we can use each individually, the solar Libra season and the energies. So a Libran, someone born in these particular periods of time, is likely going to appear, all other planetary positions aside, because everybody is profoundly unique. They're the lover, the artist, the peacemaker, the counselor. In fact, they're the socialite. And they love socializing. Libra is all about relationships, intimate relationships, certainly with our significant others, with our close friends, with partners in business. These are all intimate relationships. And so Libra seeks peace, harmony, and balance. Just knows that there are two sides to every story. And in our country today, we find ourselves quite broken up a bit. It's a difficult season right now with all the politics, which we're not going to talk about. But the message here is, in this period of time, as we come through these final weeks, take a breath and look at both sides. Look at both sides. Try not to get wrapped up in the madness of it all, right, Dr. Jonathan?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so the Libra, in terms of its highs and its lows, there is duality. Everything is dual. As above, so below, yin and yang. We can talk about this many ways, black and white, and on and on. In the low Libra energy, there can be too much compromise, codependency, and allowing oneself to be defined by relationships. And so when I'm in counsel with a client who has a high Libra energy, and the client understands where their Libra energy is playing out, we're able to talk about how to evolve these particular energies and move beyond them. Libra seeks to flood the mind with beauty, seeking common ground. And continuing on, here's this action, and I think it's just a great little prayer, isn't it? Affirmation. It's from Alcoholics Anonymous. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. There are things we just cannot change, folks, right? So, with consciousness rising, Dr. Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, and what I really appreciate about the Libran energy is the focus on peace and love. And as you made reference to, what other emotions are better to be sought than the time right now, especially in the political climate and a lot of divisiveness. So Libra consciousness is about balance and acceptance of opposing views and beliefs. So as we're getting information continuously all the time. But how are we taking in that information and harmonizing it to not feel like we have to take a side? A lot of times when we're either being marketed to or these things, we're given information and maybe try to force us to take a side. Libra energy is not even about that. It's about how do we take it in, how do we harmonize it, and not feel necessarily a need to act on it, or let's take it in. And ultimately, it takes us back to why we're here. We're here for personal growth. And it's a way to employ the grace, given the beauty of balancing both sides of the story.
Yes.
And that's what I appreciate again about the Libran energy, about balance, about harmonization, which I then believe lead to those higher emotions like peace and love.
Yes.
Dr. Jeanne, please know your stars and what's happening with Venus and Libra.
Well, Venus is the planetary ruler of Libra, and Venus, the goddess of love. You know, man, I think probably everybody knows about Venus, the goddess of love. We certainly heard it in songs. But Venus is a planetary ruler of Libra. Libra is love of all kinds. And so if you're curious as to how Venus is playing out in your stars, which house is it sitting in, is driving where your love is motivated from. The location of Venus in your chart, certainly, without a doubt, absolutely. We know, and you will know what you seek in a love relationship, what you seek. And in terms of love relationships with a significant other, we certainly always want Venuses, his or her and her, Venuses, to be in sync, to find that balance and that beauty. And also, what is your path towards peace? Peace in your lifetime. Peace in your lifetime. And consequently, the peace around all of the others that you share life with, right? If we're peaceful, they're peaceful. That's how energy works. It's a beautiful thing. And, you know, I've got to make this point now, Dr. Jonathan. Another reason to know your stars, when you're playing your stars in a beautiful song, some days the notes get off, I know that, but understanding how to bring it back in balance, that song back in balance, when you're living at your highest, others around you are living at their highest. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Ultimately, we're all one and we're all here to help everybody else. And
a high vibrational tide raises all ships.
That's exactly it, Dr. Jonathan. And so in knowing your stars, you would also know how to best recover from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. That's the crap. We're all getting it. But how do we overcome it? And so Libra pursues the holistic peace, body, mind, and spirit, the holistic balance of it all. And so that's Libra solar season, but let's talk about the new moon and the full moon, Dr. Jonathan. We always bring this into the reading, right?
Absolutely.
Every time. And so October 2nd, we have a new moon solar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Now, eclipses are powerful. Firstly, a new moon in its own right is powerful. It's in the sign of Libra. It's about the impact of partnerships in your life. Think that energy. And on the new moon, October 2nd, which happens about 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. No, nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. There's that military thing. You want to be thinking about new beginnings and fresh starts. That's what the new moon is about. And energy exists. Energy is everywhere, but writing down, and I bring you all the way down to the bottom part here, handwriting your new moon wishes on the new moon every month is in fact a powerful way to set intention. And there are some ideas with your wish starters. So you would start a sentence, I want to, or I intend to. Write your wishes within 8 hours of the new moon, within 8 hours, no more than 10 wishes. And for those of you that would like to know more about new moon astrology, I highly recommend New Moon Astrology by Jeanne Comeau. She's got great insight there as to how powerful it is, but also a lot of guidance as to what to write under which particular astrological energies.
And Dr. Jeanne, can I just real quick? And it seems like this new moon with the solar eclipse is something that is, I would say, powerful, because you have the new moon, which itself you described as powerful, but then you have that eclipse that's there that is almost maybe giving you a little bit of extra of cutting out those things that you don't need at this kind of at the same time. So that
Yes.
just seems like it just seems like a phenomenal combination. I love good combinations. I like combinations with food. I like all types of combinations. So this seems like a good combination to me.
It's an absolutely powerful combination. In fact, there are only normally, naturally, some years it can change, 4 eclipses in the year, 2 lunar and 2 solar. And they always, so this is Libra, and it's going to play with Virgo, which is the opposite side of Libra on the zodiacal wheel. So this is the Libra Virgo eclipse season. Firstly, eclipses have an energy that spans 6 months' time. And things will be eclipsed. Things will leave your life. And a point to make here is, even if you don't know your stars, they're playing out. They're absolutely playing out. They're happening. Another reason why it's better to know them and what to anticipate, but they are happening. And in an eclipse, what no longer serves is leaving. Now, whenever we get into the conversation about relationships, people immediately think about their significant relationship. And if you, I'm not predicting anything here. I don't believe in predictive astrology, but things that no longer serve will be leaving. Things will be eclipsed. It could be your job too. These are relationships. It could be a manager. It could be many things, but relationships will change. Partnerships will change in the next 6 months. How that will influence you, again, depends on the Libra energy in your birth chart and the particular house that it's in. Now, if it happened to sit in the 10th house, which is career and status in the world, then it would point more towards a change in the job. If it happens to sit in the 7th house, which is the house of relationships, it would point more towards that particular area of intimate relationships. And so another reason to know your stars. So thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Jonathan. 6 months energy. 6 months.
Wow, that's amazing.
Starting on October 2nd. And so knowing that it's the eclipse, writing your new moon wishes, you may want to be talking about the relationships in your life that you're seeking more from. Okay, that's how to play that energy. So on October 17th, we have a full moon in Aries. Now, Aries is the warrior. Yes, it is the warrior. Warrior doesn't mean, and Dr. Jonathan and I were talking about this earlier, there are many kinds of warriors. There's the warrior that fights the good fight, the right fight. And so it is aggressive energy. It is fire. It is energy. And it's a full moon in Aries.
I even think about like when I literally thought about like military medics, right? Like people who are like that sense of warrior. So there are different types of warriors as we were talking about. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
that's quite all right.
I just wanted to just share.
And that you're absolutely right. And that brought me back to Dalai Lama. So thank you for that. We saw the Dalai Lama in his birth chart. He has Mars, which is the planet that rules Aries. Mars is the red planet. It's fire, right? He has Mars in Libra. Interesting, right? Libra, all about relationships. And the comment I made there was his fight is for the people. And we can see it in his life. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, It's uncanny. So, but let's talk about Aries' developmental aim is to survive by overcoming fear with courage. We all have fear. Fear is there. But to survive it by overcoming it with courage. So it would be interesting to know where in your chart your Mars and Aries energy lies, which house, which arena of your life is it impacting? And so we want to embrace assertiveness. And here's the fight for the noble cause right there.
That's beautiful.
So as I said, yeah,
that's so beautiful.
Thank you. I know where my fight is, so we'll leave my stars out of this for the time being, but where is your warrior is the question for all of our listeners. Journaling is what we do at the full moon. So we're not writing wishes. You can write wishes, you can write intentions, but mostly it's a journaling. It's introspection and reflection on your life path. So that's the moon energy in the Libra solar season.
And I love this because what we want to make sure that we're doing, there's a lot of times that we know people are hesitant to either study or look at astrology because there's a lot of glyphs. The planets are always moving, stuff being retrograde. People don't know what stuff mean. And what we're doing is we're looking to share the different kind of parts of astrology and how you can practically incorporate it into your life. So just like Dr. Jeanne just shared, new moon, you're making wishes. Full moon, you're journaling, more introspection. That's the perfect place to start.
Yes.
To then start to incorporate astrology into your life. And then from there, you will start to be able to see differences.
Yes.
Dr. Jeanne and I both journal. So we're not up here talking and sharing things that we don't do. These are things that we do because we can actually see and have saw the impact on our lives and our loved ones and the people that we are in close proximity to.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for that, Dr. Jonathan. And so we'll move along. This is, for those of you who were with us last month, you've seen this slide before. Dr. and Jonathan and I spent quite a bit of time talking about the cosmic ages and the age of Aquarius. We've moved it further down into the presentation this week, this month, not to spend so much time going through all of this. Again, we take you back to our August podcast. But one thing I'd like to point out, well, just to refresh it a little bit, because we've got the time, Dr. Jonathan, everybody alive today has been chosen to usher in the age of Aquarius. This is a big deal. It's a big time. In fact, the last time it happened was 25,000 years ago. Okay, 25,000 years ago, because we come down to this concept of the great year down here, and it takes 25,772 years for the 12, again, the 12 glyphs, the 12 signs of the zodiac, for the 12 astrological ages to unfold. And so the fact that we are ushering in the age of Aquarius, it's a very big deal. All here for a reason at this point in life. And I say it here, over here in the red, we are forging a we collaborative. Aquarius is about the people. The last time, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of things to say here, but Pluto, I'll come back over here, Dr. Jonathan. Pluto has a 248-year orbit, 248 years. And it's moving into Aquarius. The last time it was in Aquarius was 1776. In the United States, that was the founding of our country and the Declaration of Independence, which starts out, we the people. Again, Dr. Jonathan, you just can't make this stuff up. That was the age of Aquarius. It is all about the people. We are not only ushering in at this point in our lifetime Pluto's return to Aquarius, we're ushering in the cosmic year, the cosmic age, the age of Aquarius. Two things happening, big time Aquarian energy. And yeah, I wanted to point out, however, where Pluto has been since 2008. In this country, a lot of us will remember that was the crash of the financial market, right? That was the housing crash.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And Capricorn rules structure. Capricorn rules governments, it rules top-down universities, it rules top-down religion, anything top-down that controls people. Capricorn rules. And it has been there since 2008. Now, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. All energy is a reason. And so since 2008, it's been there, toppling everything. Crash and burn, crash and burn, crash and burn. Things, you know, for people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, they would have never believed certain things that have happened. But it is a taking down, and it's setting up for the new time, we the people, and this new collective society. So I wanted to point out to everybody that on September 1st and now all the way till November 18th, Pluto has dipped back into Capricorn. We may see some things that remind us of those difficult times. Remember your Libra energy. Okay, remember your Libra energy. Just call on it, because it's going to shift and it's going to change. By November 19th, we are fully with Pluto in the age of in Aquarius, and it will go all the way to 2044. All the way to 2044. So wanted to point that out to everybody. When are we properly in both? Well, some astrologers believe we are in the age of Aquarius now. There was a big, significant astrological moment that occurred on the 21st of December, 2020. And the shift, however, into a new age, the age of Aquarius, can run 200 to 300 years. We're dipping our toe in, and we're all dipping together. Everybody here for a reason now. And, you know, I love this little symbol I have up here about the planet Earth with all these people of all colors, colorful people, colorful energy, right? So we have all been chosen to usher in the age of Aquarius. I would love to work with you to see where is your Aquarian energy, right? So this is a very important part. If your Aquarian energy is in the 7th house, that's relationships. The 4th house is family, inner self. 11th house is all about the community at large. And I definitely do see energies play out through houses and people's lives in my business. There's no doubt. So enough said about that, I think, Dr. Jonathan. We're coming up towards the end. I just wanted to point out that as far as the sky happenings, we spoke about these quite a bit last time. Pluto is sitting in Capricorn right now. It's going to go to Aquarius. Neptune is the planet of consciousness itself. This is consciousness itself energy. It's Piscean energy. Pisces is Neptune rules Pisces, so they go together. The last time we saw Neptune in this particular area of the chart, and it's going to hold there now till March 2025, we had the rise of spiritualism. Seances, mystical organizations came about the last time Neptune was in the sign of Pisces. So it's going to shift to Aries. And we talked, Dr. Jonathan, about the fact that Aries is that aggressive energy. Neptune's going to go in there. So stay tuned, folks, because Dr. Jonathan and I are going to delve into what that means in terms of consciousness rising and fighting the good fight.
Yes.
Because that's the fight that I know our people want to be fighting.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And with that, Dr. Jonathan, it's too fast. But I turn it over to you.
As we were talking about it, and you see towards the end, I know I had to be quiet so you can get through the get through the rest. Get through the rest of the presentation. But again, Dr. Jeanne, thank you for your expertise as always. You can find Dr. Jeanne on consirise.com, Evolutionary Astrology, her Know Your Stars system. The expertise that she shared is the same that is delivered in her personal sessions and consultations. So again, thank you so much, Dr. Jeanne. We will be back next month. We're going to be back next month with another episode. We appreciate you all. Remember that all of you all have a purpose. You all have a purpose, and we're here to just show how astrology to help you with that purpose. So again, thank you, Dr. Jeanne. Thank you so much for joining us, and you all
Thank you, folks.
have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.